Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, wherever you join us today in today's live lecture coming to you from Nkolo Mahadum Wisdom University. Today's date is Nkwo Market Day in the Igbo lunar calendar and 11/20/2025 in the Roman Catholic calendar. Remember, at Nkolo Mahadum, we always advise you to use your naturally given common sense, which we call Akonuche in Igbo language. And also, we are primarily set up to make sure we provide you with accurate information because of the misinformation, miseducation, and misdirection from our colonial masters and their stooges in Africa. And we encourage you to see things from the Igbo man, the Biafran, and African perspective, because every culture protests their own. And please join us, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Facebook and Twitter and TikTok. And right now we are live on YouTube, we are live on Facebook and Twitter. And so like, comment, and share so that we know how you're feeling. The title of today's lecture is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu Trial and Conviction of 11/20/2025, that is today, shows that Nigeria rushed to injustice. The title of today's lecture is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu Trial and Conviction, which they had today, shows that Nigeria rushed to injustice. It's a rush to injustice. Because, you know, today was the D-Day when Justice Omotosho said that he's going to make a ruling today. And after the previous court sittings, where Nnamdi Kanu have insisted that they should show him the law that he's been tried upon. And neither Omotosho nor Awomolo, the prosecuting counsel, were able to show any law that he's been tried upon. And what happened today in the courtroom, where Justice Omotosho said that he has convicted Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to life imprisonment for terrorism charges, was a rush to injustice, because you cannot start to convict somebody without a law, according to the law of the land, according to the Constitution. And that's what we want to show you today, what transpired in the courtroom. And without wasting much of your time, we will have to go to the first video to show you what happened in the courtroom. Let's go to that video.
Two motions.
I should move my sometime?
Yes.
Thank you.
I've made an order consolidating the hearing of the three motions.
Okay. The next one, my Lord, is an application, a notice of my commitment to file a final written address, which was dated the 11th day of November and filed on the same 11th day of November. It is accompanied, my Lord, by grounds upon which this very application is predicated, and the grounds are 4 in number, my Lord. And I went on to elucidate the body of objection and then the constitutional foundation and jurisdictional limits of this very court.
You have the grounds stated.
Yes, my Lord, you may. Ground number one, my Lord, states here, the defendant, having called evidence through cross-examination of all the complainant's witnesses, has given evidence and entitled to the summation of those points through a final written address. So I have actually entered my defense, my Lord. What I did not do is to call a witness, because the evidence tendered by the prosecution were surgically demolished. The right to ground two, my Lord, the right to final address is a fundamental constitutional right integral to fair hearing under Section 36, Sub 1 of the 1999 Constitution, and no court has jurisdiction to unilaterally order its waiver without the express, informed, and voluntary consent of the right holder, which is myself. The third ground, any order directing or implying a waiver or final address constitutes a breach of fair hearing, my Lord, which goes to the root of the court's jurisdiction and renders the entire proceedings a nullity. The
First of all, Nnamdi Kanu is trying to establish the facts here why Justice Omotosho should not continue to try him. First of all, he told him that the court doesn't have jurisdiction on that case. They don't have jurisdiction. And therefore, he's also talking about the final address, that he has to deliver the final address before any judgment is given. And let's continue to listen to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu.
Jurisdiction to extinguish or dispense with mandatory procedural stage of criminal adjudication, such as a final written address, as this would amount to an unlawful assumption of power beyond the limits prescribed by the Constitution and extant laws. And ground number 4, for reference purposes, my Lord, Section 36(1) of the 1999 Constitution, which I'm sure the court has taken judicial notice of. Those are my grounds, my Lord, in respect of the notice, seeking this court's discretion to allow me to file my final written address. Having entered my defense, I move that this very notice be adopted, my Lord, in its entirety.
Nnamdi Kanu is saying that he has entered his defense. I don't understand that. But he's been saying that if they don't show him the law, he cannot enter his defense unless he entered the defense outside the courtroom. So he said he has entered his defense, but now he's requesting for the final address to the court before the court will proceed. I think that's what he's saying. Let's continue to listen to him.
The third and the very last one is the issue of bail. My Lord, the issue of bail. This was dated the 17th day of November 2025 and filed on the 17th day of November 2025. It's a very simple one. It is a notice, my Lord, brought pursuant to sections 35(1), 35(4), and 36(12) of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, sections 158, 162, and 165 of the Administration of Criminal Justice Act 2015, and under the inherent jurisdiction of this very noble court, I am praying, my Lord, for an order admitting me on bail, the defendant applicant to bail on liberal terms, pending the determination of the invalid charge presently before this court an order, my Lord, declaring that the continued detention of the defendant applicant, my humble self, in the absence of a valid subsisting charge under a written law in force, is unconstitutional, null and void, my Lord, and for any.
Nnamdi Kanu again is saying that he should be bailed because there's no written law to continue to try him. That's what he's telling the judge, that he needs to be bailed out of that place because there's no written law. And so that's what he's trying to say. We just want to make sure you understand it, that Nnamdi Kanu is requesting, number one, that this court doesn't have jurisdiction. Number two, that he has to make a final address, final written address to the courts. And then secondly, he has to be bailed from that place because there's no law, there's no written law. Because he has maintained that if there's no written law, there shouldn't be any trial, there shouldn't be any defense, that it is persecution. So let's continue to listen to him.
Other orders that my noble Lord may deem fit to make under the circumstance. This is supported by an affidavit of 9 paragraphs deposed to by Prince Emmanuel Kanu, and also by a written address, which I urge my Lord to accept its adoption.
We'll end this one here. Now let us go to the next video of after the Omotosho and Awomolo, the prosecuting counsel, have finished reading out everything that they read out to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And then Nnamdi Kanu said that he has an objection. That is where problem started. Let's find that video.
My Lord, I have an objection. Final written address is a constitutionally mandated right which I must be granted. It is in the constitution of this very country that final written addresses, my Lord, must be granted. I have not waived it, my Lord, and I insist that I address this court on all these issues. My Lord, do not permit
The defendant,
my Lord.
consultant, can you tell your...
My Lord, I will not, please, let me finish.
Please.
This is my case.
I've gone
It is my case, my Lord, let me finish. My Lord, this very court, another idea that FAN was here, my Lord, another idea that FAN said, and the one that will contradict and develop a piece of evidence. A piece of evidence.
The credit for this video goes to TVC News. TVC News. You know that TVC News is owned by Tinubu. So the credit for this video goes to TVC News. So let's continue to watch that video.
I need to write my family address, my Lord,
on the count charge, which with DOS.
my Lord, my Lord, I'm saying it clearly.
Defendant,
I am entitled to family address.
defendant,
What is the family address? The Constitution. My family address.
defendant,
The family address.
can
What
you,
is it?
can you listen to the court?
My Lord, please, please.
Can you listen to the court?
Please, my Lord, I need to find my family within address. This is the Constitution.
I appeal to you to comport yourself this temple of justice.
My Lord, you are there. This is not law. You are there. It's not law.
Please, I beg you to comport yourself.
If you are an African watching this trial, how do you feel? You can tell from this trial that this foreign colonial judiciary that we are practicing in Africa just doesn't make sense. Because in that courtroom, as established by the colonial masters, the judge have the utmost right to do whatever he wants. The judge have what authority. You can call it, I don't know the word to you, but the judge have too much power in that courtroom. You see how he's shutting Mazi Nnamdi Kanu down? He's shutting him down. He doesn't want him to continue talking. He wants him to stop talking. But why it is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's right to address the courts with that written statement that he's asking for? It is his right, and it is in the Constitution. The one in the Constitution, they will not obey it. But the one that is not even in the Constitution, they are using to try him. How can you put those things together, my brothers? Let's continue to watch what's going on.
Show me where it says you can break my right.
Beg you to show me yourself.
Show me where it says you can break my right to family within a place.
You
Show me
in the
my
name
Lord, you are conducting the test for them. You are preparing the test for them. Let them show me the test. Show me where it says you can break my right to family within a place.
you have the right.
If you have been in this foreign colonial judicial courts, any of these courts, you will see that the judge and the prosecutors are working together. They are together working against you. So you don't have no choice. They are working against you. There's nothing you do to extricate yourself, to get yourself off of them. Whatever they want, they can do to you in that courtroom because they are working together. That's why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is telling them, he is the one protecting the prosecutors. He is the one working with the prosecutors to make sure that they deny him his right to address the courts. Let's continue to watch.
To appeal after my.
This is your conduction of the court.
Can you excuse me?
My Lord, I cannot excuse.
Let him
It's
out.
not possible. It is not possible, my Lord.
Take him.
You must show me where the Constitution says you have the right to break my right. You must show me.
Excuse him.
Show me.
Nnamdi Kanu can no longer stomach all this injustice. The injustice of the fact that he have asked the judge and the prosecutor to read out to him the reading law under which he is being tried. They denied him all those requests for so many court sittings. And then today, even the one that is in their constitution, that the defendants have the right to address the courts, they are not allowing him to do so. That's why Nnamdi Kanu is mad. If you are in the shoe of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, you will also be mad. And what is happening to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is happening to everybody. The Igbo race. It's happening to all Biafrans. It's happening to all Africa, to all colonized people, where they introduce their foreign colonial system in various lands in the world. Let's continue to watch what transpired.
Show me. Show me my doctor.
Excuse him.
Is that how you broke the camera? Is that how you broke them today?
Please,
You didn't bring the before you broke it today?
please.
Show me where it says you can find me on the repeat law. Show me.
Please get the microphone from him, please.
I said, show me. Show me.
Excuse me. Get the microphone from him.
No, leave it.
He has ordered the DSS people to come and take the microphone off of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. To take the microphone, even that microphone, are you hearing what he's saying very well? Even that microphone is not working well. Will you see that when Nnamdi Kanu starts to speak with his own voice without the microphone, that people can hear him better? But now they send DSS people to come and get the phone out of him. That is what transpired. Let's continue to watch.
It's a court of law. I'm under trial. I'm under trial. I have to speak.
I am under trial and I have to speak. Listen to me, please. I am under trial. I am under trial.
Please use the microphone.
Under trial. Show me when you have the right to go to my right to find my place. Show me. What the Constitution says. Show me.
Well, I will rise and come back.
You cannot show me.
Can you please take him out? I will come back. I rise.
He ordered for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to be removed from the courtroom. That's what happened. He ordered for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to be removed from the courtroom. That he's doing court arise. Everybody will stand up for the judge to leave. Where he comes in, everybody will stand up. That's the colonial system. And now this is how Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the judge have left the courtroom, and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu now, they have told them to take him out of the courtroom. And you see both DSS and Nigerian police, a mufti, all of them trying to escort Mazi Nnamdi Kanu out of the courtroom. That's what happened. So let's listen, continue to listen and watch.
I'll come back in 5 minutes.
Show me where it says you can break my right. Show me the place I want to see. Show me. Show me. Show me. Which law says you can try me an unwritten law? Show me. You cannot show me. You're a judge. You claim you're a judge. You don't know law. You don't know law. Nonsense. Where is the family in address? Where is it? Which law gave you the right to wear my family address? Which law gave you the right?
What's this one doing here? What are you 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 doing here? This is the idiot that attacked me. This is the fool that attacked me. That's the idiot that attacked me.
While Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was leaving the courtroom, he saw the guy that attacked him in the DSS custody last time. And he was pointing at him that this is the guy that attacked him. This is the guy that attacked him. It's all those people that they brought to the courtroom. It is all those people that they sent to go and remove the mic from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It is all of them that they sent to come and drag Mazi Nnamdi out of the courtroom. Let's continue to watch.
That's the fool. I'm going don't talk. I'm warning you, don't talk. I'm warning you, don't talk. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. I said, don't touch me. Smart people. You don't know law. Show me where it says you can wear my right foreign address. Show me the law. Show me the law. I want to show me the law. You don't know law. They are nothing new. You're writing rubbish. Show me the law. Unaddressed affidavit. You say you are you doing their job for them?
They don't have a law to try Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Now, where they have a law to allow him to make that final address to the courts, Justice Omotosho refused. That's why Mazi Nnamdi is asking what gave him that right. Where is the law that authorized him not to allow him to make his final address to the court, to show it to him? That is the persecution Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is talking about. Show him the law. They cannot show him the law. Let's continue to watch.
God will punish you now and forever.
You said?
Only judgment, let it be on record. Only judgment given.
And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, as he was going out, he pointed to Awomolo, the prosecuting counsel, and told him that God will punish him. That's what he said to the prosecuting counsel. And now this is his final statement when he is leaving the courtroom. Let's listen to that.
In this court is rubbish. Ask him what is the law. Ask for what is the law? What is the law?
And he also told them that whatever they are using to try him in this courtroom will not work. That's what he told them. That whatever they are using to try him in this courtroom will not work. So it is now after Nnamdi Kanu have walked out of the courtroom that the courts reconvened and start to convict Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. After they enumerated so many things, they say that they have convicted Mazi Nnamdi Kanu because he made a broadcast that he was commanding the NSAS protesters, that he formed Eastern Security Network. And you know that Eastern Security Network was formed to save our people. Remember, what is going on now in northern Nigeria should have been happening in our land right now, if not for ESN. It is ESN that is going inside the bushes and flushing away these Fulani terrorists from our forests. Because before then, they occupy all our forests. They were preventing our farmers from going to the farm. They were killing our people. If not for ESN, we shall be going through what the Northerners are going through right now. But this, at the same time, Justice Omotosho and co and federal government is blaming Mazi Nnamdi Kanu for forming ESN. Meanwhile, the Biafran people, the Igbo people, the people of the Eastern region accepted ESN because ESN, Eastern Security Network, is protecting them. But that is part of the things that Omotosho and the federal government was using to try Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. So now that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have left the courtroom, this was when they now started to convict Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And the next video I will show you, I will just show you this video for Saddam Hussein. You know, when Saddam Hussein of Iraq was being unlawfully tried, almost the same exchange was going on. Remember, Saddam Hussein was tried for having a weapon of mass destruction, chemical weapons that can destroy the world. That was the allegation that the Western governments used to come and arrest Saddam Hussein and finally tried him and then sentenced him to death. You see? And then after they have destroyed Iraq, stole all the gold in Iraq, did everything in Iraq, after some years, they now say that there's no weapon, there's no chemical weapon found in Iraq. And I will show you just one video or two of what Saddam Hussein passed through in the hand of his convictors, for those who arrested him, for those who wrongly accused him of what he did not do. Let us find that video and show you, just to show you what Saddam Hussein passed through. I don't know if it is this one. I'll show you this one. So this one.
This is not a trial. This is not a trial. This is a game. A game.
The trial of Saddam Hussein has often looked more like a theater than a courtroom. Saddam and other
This is not a trial. This is not a trial. This is a game. A game.
The trial of Saddam Hussein has often looked more like a...
Saddam is telling them that this is not a trial. This is not a trial. This is a game. The same thing. Let's go back to that video. I want you to watch it again. Because Saddam was telling them, this is not a trial. This is a game. It's a game that they're playing. Watch it.
This is not a trial. This is not a trial. This is a game. A game.
The trial of Saddam Hussein has often looked more like a theater than a courtroom.
This is not a trial. This is not a trial. This is a game. A game.
The trial of Saddam Hussein has often looked more like a...
That's what they did to Saddam Hussein. I just want you to see what happened. The exchange. And if you go to so many other videos of this Saddam trial, you see the same way Nnamdi Kanu is challenging them in the courtroom. Because Nnamdi Kanu know that this is injustice. This is what he's been fighting. The way you see him acting is because of the fact that it's injustice that is making him to be doing what he's doing. And that injustice is continuing right in the face of the world. That is why he's acting the way he's acting. That you will see something that is white, you are calling it black. And you see something that is black, you are calling it because you are in power, because you have the guns, because you have everything it takes to convict the other person or to injure the other person or to render injustice to the other person. That is wrong. That is wrong. And so after Nnamdi Kanu have left the courtroom, then this is where they continue to try him. And I will show you just one video where Awomolo was making, let me show you the one that when the judge came back to the courtroom. Let me see what I can find it. The one the judge came back to the courtroom to render this thing. Let me see if it's this one.
By the time the next just 30 minutes, I go to the chambers. Anybody is free to come and get a certified 2 copy of the judgments.
As the court pleases,
When I get to the chambers, the next 30 minutes, it will be signed.
Thank you, my lord. May I?
Just give me a minute. I'm looking.
The court is further urged to take judicial notice of the fact that the convict established Radio Biafra, a broadcasting platform operating on several digital channels, including mobile radio, Twitter. The court is further urged
Let's take this one.
Judicial notice of the fact that the convict established Radio Biafra, a broadcasting platform operating on several digital channels, including mobile radio, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, WhatsApp, blogs, and Instagram. It is a station with global reach. Evidence before the court, my lord, shows that when the convict was arrested on 15 October 2015 at the Tulip Hotel in Lagos, he was found in possession of broadcasting equipment. The conduct of the defendant through online publications, live broadcasts, and social media communications constitute act of incitement, encouragement, and provocation of terrorism as defined under the Act. It is the view of the prosecution, Lord, that without the instrumentality of the internet and social media platforms, the magnitude of destruction, division, and human losses recorded in southeastern states of Nigeria, including Lagos, would not have reached the level it attained. The digital platform becomes tools in the hand of the convict, tools of radicalism, ethnic hostility, and incitement to terror. Their amplified reach resulted in a coordinated transnational militarism or militarization of violence and destructions of public property across several states of Nigeria. The court has both the power and the duty to restrict further access to digital media through which the offenses were committed by making orders that prevent the commission of similar or related offenses, including forfeiture, confiscation.
This is Awomolo, the lead prosecution team, saying that Nnamdi Kanu was using his Radio Biafra on all platforms to educate the people and to commit crime and all those things. I mean, and this broadcast, they didn't even mention where Nnamdi Kanu was broadcasting from. The Radio Biafra is registered in London. It's registered in London. And so the place of the broadcast was not being mentioned. So now, if people can be prosecuted, convicted because of what they're saying, which means all these people that is talking in Nigeria, both in their TV stations, radio stations, and TV stations, should also be convicted because people are saying things. And so this is Awomolo making his case to Motosho. Why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have been taken away out of the courtroom. Let's continue to listen to him.
Or restrictions of the means used to commit the act of terrorism. As a form of preventive control, the prosecution praised this honorable court to impose restriction on the convict's access to digital devices, online accounts, or internet facilities. In other words, my lord, anywhere he may be kept until his execution in obedience to the sentencing, if he has access to these devices, and they are cheap and easy and available everywhere.
Awomolo was calling for the execution of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The prosecuting counsel, Awomolo, was calling for the killing, that Nnamdi Kanu should be killed, should be executed. That's what he called for. And he's saying that wherever they will keep Mazi Nnamdi Kanu after this trial, that they should make sure he doesn't have access to any digital something, no phone, nothing. That's what Awomolo is saying. Let's continue to listen to him.
In Nigeria, there will continue to be broadcast. Maybe he will claim he was not the one. At the moment, if you open to YouTube, you see a lot of rascals talking about the proceedings of the court, trying to twist and misread and mislead the people with what happened in court. So we're asking that your lordship should restrict him from having access to these devices. This honorable court, my lord, has the statutory power to prevent convicts from further committing offenses by making orders for the forfeiture, confiscation, and restriction by any means used for communication. We therefore pray that the court to order the forfeiture of all the broadcasting equipment, digital devices, and all electronic materials seized from the convict and currently in the custody of the Department of State Security, State Service. In particular, the radio transmitter Trans 50L, unlawfully imported into the country, should be forfeited to the federal government of Nigeria.
And we shall end this one here, where the prosecution counsel, Awomolo, was making his case for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to forfeit all the broadcasting equipments that they already seized from him in the past, in 2015, and never to allow him to have access to any broadcasting material. Stop it from there. After Awomolo made his case, that was when Justice Omotosho delivered the judgment. He convicted Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and then sentenced him to life imprisonment. Can you believe that? That Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who is a freedom fighter, who is asking for self-determination, and self-determination is enshrined in United Nations Charter and African Charter. And Nigeria is a signatory to all those. And self-determination is not a crime. It's a right. And we have mentioned in this university many times that even Russia went to war right now in the Donbas region of Ukraine, because the people of the Donbas region that are speaking Russians are asking for self-determination, but Ukraine refused to give it to them. So self-determination is accepted. It's a human right. Now they cannot have the right to agitate for the freedom of his people. But he's been convicted and said they put him into life imprisonment. But meanwhile, you see what is going on in Nigeria. All the terrorisms, the killing of people, the adoption of schoolgirls in Kebbi, the killings in Kwara, even in the churches, and the killings in Benue, Plateau, Taraba, Kwara, Sokoto, Kaduna, Boronu, all over the place. The killing of the Brigadier General and the ambushing of the Nigerian military going to rescue the abducted schoolgirls. And so all this terrorism going on across the country, you have never heard that any of them are being arrested or being prosecuted. Instead, they are doing what they are doing, what they call repentant Boko Haram. They say they are they have repented. Those who kill people, who put Nigerians in IDP camps, in refugee camps, killing them, taking away their land, renaming the land, exploiting their resources, are being, called repentant people. And even worse, they put them into the Nigerian security apparatus. But Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who is a freedom fighter, everything that they have accused him of is what he did, broadcasting, talking, just like I'm talking right now. There's nowhere you say Mazi Nnamdi Kanu carried gun and shoot anybody or maim anybody. He's just educating the people, telling the people to defend themselves. And so let us show you a few more things that happen in the courtroom. And this one, we show you a reaction from the Nigerian government. Nigerian government people reacting. Let us show it to you.
Every Nigerian must consider issue of security as his personal business. When you look away, compromise, or when you show fear, you are encouraging the miscreants, the vandals, the criminals, the terrorists to fester. This issue ought not to have festered for that long. Nigeria.
If this man is saying that every Nigerian should take the issue of security, as their own, to take it serious as their own, it means he is calling for self-defense. He's calling Nigerians for self-defense. This is a lawyer that is speaking in favor of the federal government, and he's calling Nigerians to defend themselves. The same thing they have accused Mazi Nnamdi Kanu of doing. Let's continue to listen to him.
Nigeria is our own country. We have no other country we can call our own. Secondly, it is our responsibility as Nigerians to help the government by way of information. You had during the trial information concerning how
Nigeria is your own. But who created Nigeria? Nigeria was created by Britain, amalgamated the Southern and Northern Protectorate together as one country in 1914. And Britain had been the one ruling Nigeria indirectly and having Fulani people as their agents. The Fulani people is almost about 13 million out of 200-something million people in Nigeria. And so Britain is the creator of Nigeria. Nigeria is not a nation. People did not agree to come together. So when he said Nigeria is your own, the one created by Britain, that's what you should add to that. So let's continue to listen to him.
Brass heads of human skull were used to bury a scoundrel, somebody who is a criminal. So just because people were afraid, we all must be courageous enough to confront terrorism, criminality, and all sort of things. I know that, political insinuations or perspective will be put into this matter. I was in court in there when somebody was saying, oh, Yoruba, oh, Hausa, oh, Igbo. We are all Nigerians. We must love one another. We must not compromise the security.
We are Yoruba. We are Igbo. We are Hausa before the British came and put us together. So people have a right to say, hey, this thing that Britain put us together, we don't want to be in it anymore. We want to be on our own. People have that right because we have been Igbo, we have been Yoruba, we have been Hausa, we have been Ejo, we have been Isekiri, we have been TV before Britain came. That's what he should also add. Let's continue to watch him.
Security of the country on the basis of those primordial sentiments. So I congratulate Nigeria today for seeing the end of this, and let it be a warning to those who may think they are bigger than Nigeria. One of us, the law is bigger than every one of us, and the law will take its course to deal with miscreants, to deal with terrorists.
Right now, the law should take its course on the Fulani terrorism in Nigeria. That's where the law should be right now. Because every day, the Fulani terrorists are killing people across Nigeria. That's where the law should go right now. That's where you should channel all your power to check and stop this Fulani terrorism across Nigeria. That's where you should channel it. Now, let's take one more video, or one or two more video. We will listen to what our lawyer Jimako said after the verdict, and others, not only our lawyer, Jimako.
They will forever live in infamy. Today is the only day I have witnessed a man being convicted for mere buffering, for what he said from his mouth, not what he did with his own hands. The verdict is not consistent with the evidence laid before the court. The sentence is overbroad, cruel, and unusual. How can you convict a man for making mere broadcasts from a location that was never named, and he never tied that broadcast to any single incident of violence, or even someone slapping someone, not to talk of terrorism? He did all this. He didn't lay any evidence. I don't know where this whole verdict can be grounded in law, logic, or facts. We disagree with the judgment vehemently, and we are going to fight it from here onwards until justice is done.
We at Nkolo Mahadum agree in this one with Aloy Jimako that this is a jamboree. This is a drama. This is a concocted trial that doesn't serve the interests of Nigeria. In fact, Justice Omotosho missed a big opportunity. He missed a big opportunity to redeem the image of Nigeria by dismissing this case and acquitting and discharging Mazi Nnamdi Kanu unconditionally. He missed a great opportunity. So let us see where this will end as we continue to listen to Aloy Ejimakor. We agree with Aloy Ejimakor in this one. Thank you very much.
It's based on some primordial sentiments, just because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is Igbo. An Igbo man has become the person in Nigeria that should be trampled upon. I'm not saying this because I'm Igbo.
An Igbo man is the one they are treating anyhow in Nigeria. After all, some Igbo who have done similar thing that they are accusing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu of, and today he's walking free. And they even gave him money. And Omo Yele Sowore have also gone through this, and he's walking free. Why are you holding Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? Why are you holding him? Because he's an Igbo man. And this trial of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the trial of the Igbo race. It is the trial of Igbo. You may say, oh, it doesn't concern you, it doesn't, because you are this or you are. It concerns you. Whether you like it or not, it concerns you. So let's continue to listen to Aloy Ejimakor.
I'll say it for the house of Yoruba who gets trampled upon. But today we saw an Igbo man being trampled upon, and by God Almighty, we are not going to allow it. Nobody is going to trample on me. Nobody is going to trample on Nnamdi Kanu. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not a terrorist. He's a man that was pursuing change. To pursue a separate nation of yours is not a crime. So in Nigeria today, if somebody says don't be silly, you get convicted. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu may broadcast, and so what? And you convict him for terrorism for mere words in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. What kind of precedent is being laid? So from here, we are heading to the Court of Appeal. The Court of Appeal is the only court in this country, or the next court in this country, that sits as a jury. We are going to approach justice there to check out what happened in court today. And we are pretty sure the justices will agree with us that today was the symbol of the travesty of justice that everybody has been suspecting. So
it was a day that Justice Omotosho and his Nigerian handlers missed an opportunity. They missed an opportunity to keep this case lingering because it never ended. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the leader of the Biafran people, the Igbo race. It never ended. More than 70 million people is behind Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. So don't think that it has ended. You should have ended it today, but you missed that opportunity. And therefore, it will continue. The case will continue until justice is given to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the Biafran people and the Igbo race and Africa and other people being persecuted get justice. Let's continue to listen to Aloy Ejimakor and others.
Suspecting all along. If the Court of Appeal disagrees with us, we head to the Supreme Court. But by God Almighty, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not going to stand convicted. He's going to get overturned. Thank you.
First of all, I want to talk to the Igbos that nobody should take laws into your hand. I'm assuring you, this judgment is predicated on anger. Thank God that the judgment was streamed live and everybody watched it. You see the anger in delivering the judgment, and it's not predicated on law. Now, I also want to let you know that this charge, that the investigation that gave rise to this charge was not investigated, because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's purported statement, was rejected by this court, and they did not tender any document as investigation report. That is to say, the investigation was not. The offense was not investigated.
This judgment was not premeditated. It was not based on law. It was based on injustice. It is based on emotion. It is based on anger. It is based on the fact that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is an Igbo. Such an important judgment should be based on these things. Is that how Nigeria should be a better place? So it's not predicated on law. Instead, it is predicated, it is based upon the fact that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is an Igbo man. It is based on tribalism. It is based on injustice. That is what Maxwell Okpara is trying to explain. Let's continue to watch him.
Having said that, also something that happened in court today, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu filed a matter in court of appeal. And he's asking, my lord, that particular matter I filed in court of appeal anchored on this particular issue. Please, can you just suspend this judgment? Let court of appeal direct what to do. My lord refused. Now, on the issue of anger, you journalists will bear with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Government, Nigerian government, and the judiciary are not fair to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. What do I mean? Nnamdi Kanu was given judgment by court of appeal. Federal government refused to comply with that judgment given by court of appeal until after 8 days before the appeal against it. When we get to the Supreme Court directed the prosecution what to do. Amend this particular charge. Nnamdi Kanu was saying that, please, can you amend this charge? They refused. With the combined effect of all this, I'm assuring you,
Nigerian government never obeys court order, especially when it's not in their favor. Because Nnamdi Kanu have gotten at least up to 8 judgments, so more than 8 judgments in his favor. None of them have been obeyed. This is the only one that the federal government is getting. So it's 8/1. In the court trials, Nnamdi Kanu 8, federal government 1. In this one that is not even fair one, this one they just rush to get it because they don't have any written law to charge him. And Nnamdi Kanu today was even denied his right, the one that is written, he was denied. So if you come to Nnamdi Kanu court cases, Nnamdi Kanu have won total of 8 cases, and federal government just managed to say they get this one through this their fast rushing to convict him to satisfy the masters that put Omotosho on that seat. Let's continue to watch Maxwell for a few more minutes.
That this judgment will not stand, and the court of appeal will do justice to it. Now, I also want to plead with judiciary. Nnamdi Kanu is representing himself because the court has given the prosecution a blanket order to detain Mazi Nnamdi Kanu wherever they want. They should detain Mazi Nnamdi Kanu where we have access to file his appeal, because he has 90 days to file his appeal. And the judge said that the judgment will be ready in the next 15 minutes. I also enjoyed the media. We have the record of proceedings from the day till today. I want you to check the record of proceedings and evidence tendered, reconcile it with the judgment. Now you now see what we are talking about. You are bringing British into this matter, bringing America into this matter. You are now trying to so that the British and America will be against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Something that was not an issue, that was never tendered, that was never given evidence on, and they are raising the issue. So this is a judgment against the Igbos. This is a judgment against the good people of Southeast, and it's because of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is an Igbo. You cannot give this kind of judgment to a Northern. You cannot give it to a Southwestern.
They want to put problem between the Igbo race and the American government, and between the Igbo race and the British government. We already have a problem with British government because they are the one that put us in this mess. But now they want to put the Igbo race against the American government, who is coming to save the situation. who is interested in coming to save the Christians. Guess where you have majority of the Christians? It is in the Biafran area. It is in the eastern region where you have mostly Christians. And now they want to put a wedge by involving America to hate Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and to hate the Igbo race. That's what their plan. That's what Masque just said. And so everybody have seen that this judgment is just because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is an Igbo man. That's what everybody is concurring. So let's continue to watch him for a few more minutes and then we'll call it a day.
You cannot give it to another tribe in Nigeria apart from the Igbos. And we are going to start against it because it has happened in this country against some other persons, including Abiola. The Igbos join hands together to fight against it. Why should you be our own time and everybody's sitting and acting? It's unfair. And we started this trial.
I think we already listened to this. Finally, we're going to listen to Omoyele Sowore, and then we call it a quit in today's trial. Let's listen to Omoyele Sowore.
Apart from other problems, one of which is the kidnapping, what is known as the extraordinary rendition of Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya, you cannot cure that. You cannot cure the absence of evidence. You cannot cure every other problem you brought upon yourself in this problem. And that's what we have told them. And in general, because this is also foundational to Nigeria, Nigeria is in search of unity, they claim. Nigeria is in search of nationhood because it has never become a nation. If you want to make that happen, you do justice to all the components of Nigeria. You don't discriminate against somebody because his name is somebody you don't like, or because his religion is what you can't stand, and then you expect the country to be united. That is not good.
Omoyele already reminded us of the illegal rendition from Kenya, which is a violation of international law. And the Kenyan courts have come out to say that Nigerian government violated their law to do that. And then Omoyele is saying that Nigeria is not a nation yet. How many years from now? After amalgamation, 1914 to independence, 1960, up to 2025, not yet a nation. What are we doing? What is going on? You're not yet a nation. Everybody is still seen through their religion, through their tribe. Why then can't you allow people to exercise their right of self-determination, asking for referendum so that they can have their own nation? Why will Africans rise up to this occasion, to dismantle all the colonial boundaries we have in Africa as imposed by the colonial masters, just like they imposed this judiciary, this foreign judiciary in our land, which is not working. It's not working. If it's working, why are we in the state that we are today in Nigeria and in Africa as a whole? It's not working. Their democracy is not working. Their judiciary is not working. Their religion is not working. None of their institutions and culture is working in our land. That's why we are going back to our roots, because ours should be ours. Ours should be number one. And so we have had everything that transpired today, how Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was brought to the courtroom, and he came there telling the judge that he doesn't have a jurisdiction, that he should be bailed out of this place since he don't have any law to try me on. Then as the case proceeded, the judge wanted to continue, but Nnamdi Kanu said he has the right to a written address, the final written address before the judgment. But Justice Omotosho says no. And then as they were talking back and forth, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Justice Omotosho sent the DSS people to come and take Mazi Nnamdi Kanu out of the courtroom. So when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu left the courtroom, then they started the trial. In his absence, which means, and they know Nnamdi Kanu is the one defending himself. So if he's not there, what are you trying? All this shows that the trial is injustice, it's a rush to injustice, and they got the injustice, and then let us see where we go from now. Because as we have said before, Justice Omotosho missed an opportunity to end this trial today by discharging and acquitting Mazi Nnamdi Kanu unconditionally today. He missed that opportunity. And so let us see where we're going from here. And with this, we shall bring in today's lecture. And please share this lecture, comment, like, so that we know how you're feeling. And also subscribe to our YouTube channel by pressing the bell button. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter and TikTok. Thank you very much for joining us today. My name is Obiora Mba Igboweze. Thank you. Have a good one.